implementation while I'm working on my initial project. Like, yeah, maybe I'm thinking of coming up with a debunk. Yeah, some sort of a debunk in place of the freelancer app. Anyway, I'll see what happens tonight because we don't have power. So if power comes, maybe I can still switch.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's awesome. So you mean like for your unique canister, you just want to come up with something relatively simple?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And yeah, maybe your bigger idea, you can save it for the hackathon or something. We will be able to attend the physical hackathon?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll be there, but
That's awesome. Yeah, so have it on GitHub. That will be cool.
yeah, sure.
Okay. And, anyone else with a problem before we get into few functions on homework 1, on homework 2, I mean? Okay. Hi, Matthew's Temple.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Have you started on anything? How is it going?
Well, so far so good. We are trying. We are on a good pace.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Sure.
And Erickson, you have been joining, but we haven't heard from you. You can unmute your mic and tell us a bit how it's going with your projects and homeworks. Erickson, I'm afraid to butcher your surname. Okay. So let me share my screen and we can see how you could have started on your homework 2 and implement a few functions.
May I just show you something quick, please, before you start? And then
no problem.
You can go ahead, right? My project is just going to be a simple one because there is no time to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Serious. So, but I'll show you what I'm working at. If you notice something or you have some ideas, you can let me know. Let me do this. Sometimes you think you're ready and then you wonder where's my screen gone? Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Yep. This is what I'm doing. It's basic for now because I just want to get the code to work.
Okay.
Right. But basically, I mean, you know when I told you about recreating like
The item.
elements and stuff on the
Yes.
yeah. So because you know what you demonstrated was, I mean, similar to the form that we fill on the student portal. You fill in your name and stuff like that, and you click submit.
Yeah.
And you submit it. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to record it back, it's still those same form fields that will be populated.
Yeah.
Right now, this is not in Motoko yet. I am still working on it, but this is just the normal JavaScript setup. Right.
Okay.
So what this is just some kind of reminder for somebody, like you go in shopping, you want to make sure you don't forget things. You put all this, so that it's that kind of a list, right? So if I put jam, for example, and add that, sorry, I think see that's the React, that's the Motoko one. I've gone that far, but I'm yet to get that sorted. So if I put jam, for example, on this one, and I click add, it will add that.
Okay.
And if I do Apple, and it will add that.
Okay.
Cool. And I can simply remove what I don't want.
Okay.
Right. There is another function which I'm hoping to add to it. So if I go I can add that item. If I go coffee, I can add this item. And the other function I hope to add to it is, I mean, you might want to sort them in order. And also, well, I can do that in JavaScript.
Yeah.
Get you to just drag the various fields about to put them in the order that you want. And once you know you got something that you need, or you want to clear the list, you can clear the list, remove this, and all of that. So that's what I want to use for my own little project.
Okay.
But in the in Motoko, I've only got this far, but my ad is not working yet. So I have to get it to work. That's one. Then secondly, now I have to create the I don't know what kind of hash I would use for it, so that it's stored until the user deletes it.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I'm working on.
That's where you are. Okay. That's awesome.
That's where I am. So I'm still working on the code to get it to
really work as it should.
Okay, I'm not showing you my code, is it?
Yeah.
I'm showing you the screen. So let me do this. Sorry, if I stop this and I come back. Yeah. Let's do code. So this is the code. I still have a number of things that are not in place. So it's touch and go for me at the minute. At the back end, I only have this. I have not even created any.
Oh, okay.
Anything else. Unfortunately, instead of working from the back end to the front end, I'm working from the front end to the back end, because the back end is where my challenge is. The front end, there is no challenge at the minute. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So I think like your backend really shouldn't be a challenge. Like you first you can get like even the inspiration on that users app. I send you the report, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
And I'm checking it out to see.
exactly. So the user in that case will just be like your item, and then you just modify the fields, and yeah, and then you choose if you want to proceed with the try map or you want to use a buffer. So I think if you look at that user's implementation and also the homework one will be going through here, I'm sure you'll be able to like build the backend for this.
You mean homework too?
Yeah, like as we are going through homework too. Only challenge with homework too is that like it doesn't have actual storage persistence. It's just saving the items temporarily. So
yeah, it's that
yeah.
persistence. I mean, again, on jQuery JavaScript, I can easily create that, but it will defeat the purpose if I can't do that on Motoko.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and in Motogo, that will be like your actual permanent database. So,
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So I think try to have a look at that user's implementation and then see how the users are being persisted, and yeah, just adopt that to your items, and it should be cool. Should be good.
What I want to ask is because you know the it's not just text; it's an entire field.
Yeah,
including the button. So, what kind of type do I create for it? As in text or not? Or
all right. Yeah. So let's. Okay. So you have the name, and I'm sure you just want what the ID, right?
I think it's just going to be a single item. I think if I split them up, I'm going to make it more difficult for me because you got the text, then you got the field, and then you got the button. The button that you used to delete. I want to make all of that just one item.
All right, I see. So, okay, so the what you really need to think about adding in the backend is like the data fields only, right? So you just need like this is simple. You just need the name. Like you can have a type. You can create your type like you can say type. What is it? Item, right? And then it will have a name and an ID, as simple as that. And then, so.
But what type would it be? Would it can't be text. It can't be text. It can. I don't know if it's a blob.
It will be text.
It will be text.
Yeah, it will just be text. Yeah.
Even with the button.
No, the button will just be at the front end. So the button you can do it dynamically, right? The button, the button will just be at the front end. You won't need it in your object type, like in your item type. So
no, I'm talking about storage now, by the way. So when I store it, I want to store all at once.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do this.
And
maybe
I'll stop presenting. So I wanted to show you because that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Go back. Can you show the browser again?
Okay. Let me do this. So if I come. So this is the browser. Now this one is the Motoko one, which is still work in progress, and this one is the one which is what I want to get to. This is where I'm going.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying, in the Motoko backend, you don't need to have these buttons, right? You just need to have the actual data. And then when you get the data from the canister, you just map it here. I'm sure there's some mapping you are doing here in your items. And then the button will be dynamic. Like it won't be something saved in the canister.
I
It will
see.
just,
Where would it
just
be saved?
a dynamic front-end element, the button.
Okay, I
You
see.
get it.
I see.
Yeah.
What about the field? What about the box?
Okay, yeah. So again, this will still be front-end dynamic element. So you actually you just need like a single box, like a single card for this item, right? The one that will be having the button, the box,
Okay.
and everything. Just one item in the front end, right? And then when you query your items from your canister, from the database, let's say, you just then map this on your card. Yeah, like the card is this entire thing with that is displaying the name and with the remove button and everything. So let me
I see.
share.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the button makes sense because the button does not exist until the user creates the item. Then the button appears. So that button can always be dynamic. That's fine. I guess with the field. So which means I only have one thing. That's text.
Yeah, exactly. You only have one thing, text,
Okay.
and probably an ID. The ID will be good so that you can query even a single item or delete, because that remove will be actually, you want it to actually delete the record from the canister,
Okay.
right? So
may I just show you something quick, please, if you don't mind? Let me
okay.
stop this.
It's all right.
Let me come back here. So where am I? Options. Okay. Right. So this is the link that so far I've got to the back end. Not quite complete yet. For example, this await this item from the back end.
Yeah.
So am I going in the right direction because if I look at the backend, you will see it's a list entry here, entry and text.
All right. Okay, can you show me your JavaScript again? And list entry. Yeah, that's normally how you would have to call it.
To call it from
yeah, like from the front end, like you have to call it in a way similar to this. But just to confirm, is this you're using React, right?
No, I'm just using
Vanilla
JavaScript
and HTML.
and HTML.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm using mostly at the minute.
Okay.
And it's not just vanilla, it's jQuery, by the way.
Or it's with jQuery.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's jQuery. So yeah, so that's I just want to keep it basic because I want to focus more on the Motoko side.
On the Motoko side.
And see if I can get the two to talk to themselves. And if that works, I'm good.
Okay, so I can. So if you do, wait. Yeah, but this template, like it shows you already like how to connect the backend, right? Like when you do DFX new and you select like JavaScript, then JavaScript, yeah,
Yeah,
shows
I saw a few things. The only thing is that this is using the class, and yours is not quite using the class, if I remember well. But
yeah, it's React. It's working differently. Yeah,
I will still try and see. I think I should be able to follow it. If I struggle, I'll give you a shout.
okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, really the back end, you just that user's application will help you a lot on how to set up. Yeah, and then the ID you can. I'm not sure. Can you?
I'm thinking of using the principal. Would that work?
But the principal now would be a bit difficult for you to generate. You might need a library because there's no logging in. You see, it's not like it's something complicated, but it's just there's no logging in. Yeah. And a principal is usually best associated to something like a user.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a single item. A single item, you need something like a UUID. So the best way would be to install that UUID package, right? So that when you save item to your backend, you just, for each item, you just generate a UUID. And
why do I get the package?
Yeah, an NPM package. It's an NPM package. You can just search UU.
U as in umbrella ID.
NPM. You just search UUID NPM, right?
So it's WUID.
Yeah, WUID. So that package will generate as an ID string,
Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, so that's the one you can.
I've seen it.
You can just use as the ID for your item, and then save the item in a map also.
It's a Motoko thing. I can see the.
No, it's not a Moto. This one, it's a JavaScript thing.
It's JavaScript, okay.
Yeah, it's plain.
I'm seeing crypto. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
okay.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Let me stop sharing and.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Allow you to continue.
I'm sure others have also learned something from this. Thank you. Okay, so homework 2. Let me share my screen. Okay. All right, so this is the instructions. You read through, and then you get here. You're asked to import time from the time library and define a record type homework. Okay, yeah, Mr. William, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Kindly fill in the attendance form. I only see 3 people that have signed up their form. Do it quickly.
Okay, yeah, Matthews, go ahead.
Okay, just wanting to make a follow-up to Mr. William. We told him to prepare some invitational letters for us so that we can present them before our schools tomorrow, because it is Friday. I don't know how far he has gone with them.
Okay, noted. I will liaise with Mr. Nonde over that one, and we'll get back to you.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay. So let me proceed. All right. So we are define a record type homework that represents a homework task. A homework has a title, a field of type text, a description field of type text, a due date, and a completed of type O, right? Define a variable called homework diary that will be used to store the homework tasks. Use a suitable data structure such as buffer or array for this variable. Implement add homework, which accepts a homework of type homework as the homework to the homework diary and returns the ID of the homework. The ID should correspond to the index of the homework in the diary. So, and here is the interface for the function add homework. So some of you might be confused here because the interface is literally written right like this, but that's not how you actually have to write the function, like the add homework function. So yeah, you have to write it differently in the normal way of writing functions. So let me create a project. Let's see. Where should I create a project? I should create it somewhere like here. Okay, let me do this. So DFX, new homework 2. I want it to be a Motoko. For this one, I don't want a front end. Go on like that. Yeah. So I see the homework. Homework 2. Okay. Just the order. So I need to zoom in. So this is my new project. And then here's the initial function. So the instructions are import the type time from time library, right? Okay, so to do that, we don't need space at the moment. So we need to import time more base time, right? And what else? Define a record homework that represents a homework tasks. Okay, so we can now create the type homework right? like this, and then let's say it should have what title, field, a description, a due date, and field time, and they're completed, right? So here we do title, text, and description, text. Okay, here it's the semicolon. Then we do the due date. This goes to time. Okay, so we need to create the time type. So the time type, we get it from the time we just imported. So it's time is equal to time dot time, right? So yeah, and then what else? Completed is full, right? So yeah, we now have our homework type. You should, if you are defining this stuff in a single file in your actor, you should display them inside your actor, not outside the actor, right? If you're putting it in a single file. Okay, so you now have the homework type, and yeah, super road. If you're watching, this is just how you'll be doing, and you just have the name and possibly the ID for your case. ID, that will be text, and the name, that will be text, and you won't have all this. So anyway, so here is what we want for homework. So usually, if it's something simple and small, you can have your types in your same file as your actor, right? But as you try to build something a bit bigger, you would start seeing the need to organize your code better in a much efficient way that make it more readable and also clean, right? So you will need to have an extra file, another file, like to hold your types, a file to hold your util functions, right? So you can do that. You can create a new file here. Let's just call it types. .mo. So for you to be able to use this, whatever you're going to create in this, it have to be a module, right? This file that for you, if you want to communicate with your canister, you have to make it a module, right? So really, module, you can just type module. If you have the extension installed, it will do that for you. So basically, this is how you define a module. So a module doesn't hold state, right? So it only holds like functionalities that won't hold like the state for your canister. So why am I saying this? As you continue building complex project, you definitely need to have a lot of files, and as you have it's good to know that if your functions that are not dependent on the state, and what I mean by the state is the state variables we create inside here, the ones we do with step or variable, whatever, like our little database here. So all the functions that are like dependent on your canister state should be in the actor, and then the rest you can have them in sub modules. So here our module, like you can have like classes, etc. But here our module is not having a lot of complicated stuff. We are just keeping our types in our module, right? So we can just remove this stuff here and have it here. So for us to be able to access this outside, first to be able to use these types in this module, we have to make them public types. Public, and this one doesn't need to be public since it's just used here, but anyway, it's okay. Public, right? So now we can now just come here and do we can import, let's say, types. And do import homework types. Don't need this. Yeah, so we just imported types from our types file. So if it's not like one directory up, if it's like in the same directory, you can just access the file like this. You can see it already picked up our homework types. Cool. So now what we can just do is inside our actor now, we can just say type homework equals to type homework. Our code is now clean. Our types is in another file. And then what are the instructions? Okay, create and add homework file and use okay, create a variable. Define a variable called homework diary that will store the homework tasks, right? So use a suitable data structure, a buffer or an array. A buffer is usually much better and easier for this kind of thing. So create our variable. Oh my god. So var homework diary equal to buffer buffer homework, and then we put like a lower bound of 0. We just want to start from 0 and then grow from there, right? So now we have our variable in place. And then to add the homework, we want a function to add the homework. So this is a function interface, right? So this is just letting you know what your function will be like. So this is like to avoid like giving away explicitly how you go about the function. But with this, you can just know that you are going to have a shared and it obviously a public shared function, right? Called homework that will accept the homework type and returning a nut, and the nut will be the index of the homework. So let's create our homework function, our add homework. We go by public shared function, right? Add homework. And then we pass in the homework of homework type, right? Then should be an asynchronous function. Then we want to return a nut. So yeah, like that. And then how do we add the homework? We do homework diary. Dot add homework, right, like that. So we added our homework and it's screaming at us because we haven't returned our nut, right, the index. So how do we go about that? How can we know the index of our homework? Anyone with ideas on this, thoughts on this? How do we go about finding the ID, the index of the homework we just added? Okay, so I'll explain. Z coding, welcome. Yeah, so to find the index of the homework we just added, there's a few things we just need to understand about how this buffer works, right? So when you add one item, it's going to be added to the on index 0. Second item on index 1, 2, something like that. So it's starting from 0. But what functions do we have, like which the buffer provides us that can help us figure that out, right? So usually, yes, super rod, quiet.
Would it be right to create a variable that would create a count that's linked to the index?
Okay, you mean as a way of getting the ID?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, like having an ID separately that initiating at 0, right? And then like when you add one homework, you increase it by 1. and then
Yes.
you return the previous index. Yeah, that can totally work. Yeah, but yeah, it's totally fine. It can work. And but there's another one that is a bit easier, like where you won't have to create to like track your indexes, your ID, whatever. Maybe just in case like the ID variable can be messed up somehow. Of course, yeah. There's an easier way, which I will show you just now. But yeah, that solution totally works. So usually you have to go to like the documentation, right, and see what we have, what does the buffer give us, right? So let's see. Buffer. Go to the documentation, see the functions we have on buffer. Size, add, get, opt, whatever, all this stuff. Yeah, there's a lot on buffer. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with a buffer. You can get text to text. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Okay, but in our case, what we'll be interested in is the size. So the size will just return you the number of the capacity of the buffer at that moment, right? If you have added 5 items, size will return 5, right? So we just added our item here, and we want to know that its index. But we know that the index starts at what? At 0, but size will give us like the total number of items. So what we just want is to have size subtract 1, right? When the size is 1, the index is 0. When the size is 2, index is 1. When the size is 3, the index is 2. That's the pattern, right? Relationship with the size and the index. So what we just want is want to return homework diary size -1. That would be the correct index. So yeah, in Motoko you don't have to explicitly write return. You can just leave it like this, and it will automatically know that it wants to return the last. It will just return the last computation, right? So yeah, but just to be extra clear, you can just write return. So this will get us the index. And which function should we do next? Let's say we want now to get the homework. What do we have here? Yeah, implement get homework, which accepts homework ID of type NAT and returns the corresponding homeworks. Homework in a wrapped K result. If the homework ID is valid, the function should return an error message wrapped in an error result. So yeah, if you were following previous sessions, you understand about this result type. Okay, so let's create this function. That's the one we're going to end with. So public add function, and what do you want to call it? Get homework. Get homework, and then run the ID type nut. Okay. Type nut, and then in a synchronous function, we want the result and dot result. Then for the case of okay, if everything is okay, we want to get the homework. Something goes wrong, I want to return an error in just text now, telling us what the hell happened. And yeah, so yeah, Copilot is smart, but not very smart. So what we want now is we need to check if ID is not like greater than the size, right? Because obviously if index starts at 0, right? And if you put an ID of -1, it won't work, right? So it will give an error of like bound whatever. So we don't want that. So we need to have that check. So we can do like if ID is greater than or equal to homework diary size, in that case, we want to return an error. The text homework not found. That's cool. And then apart from that, so like that's the only case we might just need to, edge case we might just need to consider here. And then apart from that, we just do what? Yeah, we just want to return an okay wrapping homework.get ID. So this is like shorthand. If you really want to understand what's happening, we can just do like that homework equals to homework.get, and then we can just return homework. That's the same thing, but you know, we now have 2 extra lines of code. We can just have 1 and call it a day. Okay. Yeah, so that's the get homework function, and it should work as expected. So let's just deploy this. Okay, there's someone. Yes, go ahead, Superrod.
I don't know if I missed it, but did you import the result library?
Yes, I imported it. Here,
But
so
you didn't create any type for results.
okay, so I didn't have to for the case of result because like it's already there here. So when I do this, I'm like, this is the like the result module, right? And then I'm getting the result type. So let's see. Let's go to result. Here, you see the public type of result. Yeah. So when I did result, I was like importing the whole thing, right? And then when I do dot result, I accessed the type, the public type result. So yeah,
Okay.
that's what happened here. Yeah.
Right.
Just imported. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so let me start the effects. Clean background. And then effects deploy. Okay, let's test it out. Okay, let's add our homework. Homework completed. False, due date, random string. My homework. And call it. Okay, so yeah, I got the ID back, right? 0. Then I pass in 0. I call it. Okay, cool. I get my homework. So one thing I noticed, a mistake which I actually did here on getting the homework. This is a query function, and I didn't put query, so that's why it kind of executed slower. So I just need to do query. Then yes, let me see. So if I add homework random, right, on 0, then I put 0. Yeah, you see, almost instant. So yeah, that's it, guys. Try to see if you can complete the other functions just doing this kind of logic. Yeah, challenging yourself and then see if you can implement something different on your own. Okay, battery's running out. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys. Any questions before we close this session and meet tomorrow? Just stop sharing. Okay, looks like no questions. So yeah, just another reminder. Let's work on our unique canisters, on our unique implementations, and yeah, we'll send out a form for you guys to submit those canisters. Yeah, I think tomorrow, Saturday. So thank you. Have a good night. Let's meet tomorrow morning.
No, tomorrow is Friday.
Thank you.
You are not audible, Gelly.
Tomorrow is Friday, miss.
Tomorrow is Friday, right?
Saturday, yeah.
Huh?
It's Friday, not Saturday, tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I say like maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah, anyway, thanks. Yeah. The days. Okay. Yeah, good night, everyone. Let's catch up tomorrow.